the 8 exercises that solve 99% of your problems. The last one is the most powerful. Have you ever imagined how you want to feel in 5, 10, or 20 years? Can you see yourself with a strong, agile, and pain-free body, enjoying life without limitations? Or do you fear that small daily difficulties like bending down, standing up, or even walking long distances will start to become challenges? The good news is that you have the power to decide that now. Your body is an incredible machine, capable of renewing and strengthening itself as long as you give it the right stimulus. And no, that doesn't mean spending hours at the gym or doing complicated workouts. In fact, there are only 8 essential exercises that can solve 99% of your physical problems, improving your posture, reducing pain, restoring mobility, and bringing back the strength you might not even realize you're losing. Regardless of your age or fitness level, these movements will transform your quality of life. But pay attention, the last exercise on this list is the most important of all, and most people completely ignore it, not knowing that it could be the key to a functional and pain-free body. So stay with me until the end and discover how each of these exercises can impact your health forever. Let's get started. Number 8, heel and toe walk. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt your ankle was weak or been afraid of tripping on a step? If this has happened to you, know that it's not just by chance. Over time, if we don't train our balance and foot strength, the muscles start losing their function. And that's when the fear of walking on uneven ground, stepping off a curb, or even just standing for long periods without discomfort begins. But here's the good news. You can regain that strength and stability with an incredibly simple exercise. The heel and toe walk is one of the best ways to strengthen the foundation of your body, your feet and ankles. I say this because most people underestimate the role that feet play in our daily lives. They are the foundation of our body. If the feet aren't strong and properly activated, the impact travels up to the ankles, knees, and hips, causing problems that could have been avoided. Now imagine this. You're walking down the street and misstep. If the muscles around your ankle aren't strong enough, there's a high risk of twisting it. But if they're well trained, your body automatically adjusts, preventing falls or injuries. This is what we call proprioception, the body's ability to balance itself. And the best way to improve this ability, regularly training the muscles in your feet and ankles. The heel and toe walk activates this entire area and improves your stability. To do it, it's simple. First, walk 10 to 15 steps while supporting yourself only on your heels, with your toes pointing upward. Then, do the opposite. Walk the same distance, but only on the balls of your feet, engaging your calves. If maintaining balance is difficult at first, you can hold onto a wall or railing. The important thing is to train these muscles that we often forget to work on. Now, you might be thinking, but does this really make a difference? Yes, and I guarantee it. After a few weeks, you'll feel your feet more grounded, your ankles more stable, and even your walk more confident. Do this exercise every day, even if it's just for a minute. Small habits create big results. Now that we've strengthened the ankles and feet, let's talk about an exercise that can improve your posture and even your breathing. Number 7, diaphragmatic breathing. Have you ever noticed that when we're anxious or stressed, our breathing becomes short and rapid? Or that when we have back pain, taking a deep breath feels more difficult? That happens because most people breathe incorrectly without even realizing it. What I'm about to teach you may seem simple, but it's one of the most transformative exercises you can do. It's called diaphragmatic breathing, and I guarantee that if you practice it regularly, you'll feel less tension, more energy, and even reduced back pain. Diaphragmatic breathing activates the diaphragm, a muscle located just below the lungs. This muscle not only controls how you breathe, but also influences posture, balance, and even spinal stability. If it's not functioning well, the body compensates incorrectly, which can lead to chronic pain. Now, try this test with me. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. Breathe normally and see which hand moves more. If it's your chest hand, it means your breathing is shallow, relying more on your shoulders than your diaphragm. Now let's fix that. Lie on your back or sit in a comfortable chair. Inhale through your nose, filling your belly as if inflating a balloon. The hand on your chest should remain almost still, while the hand on your belly rises gently. Now exhale very slowly through your mouth, completely emptying the air. Do this for 5 minutes every day and notice how your breathing improves, your mind calms, and your posture naturally adjusts. Now, if you want to correct your posture for good and prevent that forward shoulder curve, the next exercise is essential. Number 6, thoracic extension against the wall. Have you ever looked in the mirror and noticed that you're becoming more hunched forward with your shoulders slumping? If so, this exercise might be exactly what you need. Over time, gravity and modern habits, like looking at your phone all day, cause the upper spine to become stiff. This not only only affects your posture, but can also lead to shoulder and neck pain and even make breathing more difficult. Thoracic extension against the wall helps restore mobility in the thoracic spine and reverse this hunching process. And the best part, you can do this exercise anywhere. Stand with your back against a wall, keeping your feet a few inches away. Maintain a neutral lower back position and raise your arms overhead, trying to touch the wall with your hands. Hold for a few seconds and then relax. If you feel a lot of stiffness at first, don't force it. Over time, your spine will regain its natural mobility and your posture will improve significantly. Now, if you want to strengthen your lower back and ensure your spine stays protected, the next exercise is crucial. Number 5. Dead bug. Let me ask you something. Have you ever tried to strengthen your abs but ended up feeling lower back pain? Or have you heard that you need a strong core to protect your back but don't know exactly how to train this area without harming your spine? Well, most people believe that strengthening the abs means just doing traditional crunches, where you repeatedly lift and lower your torso. The problem, this type of exercise often puts more strain on the lower back than it actually strengthens the core. And if you have any back pain, it can make things worse. Now, let me introduce you to one of the best exercises to strengthen your core in a safe and functional way. The dead bug. It teaches your body to stabilize the spine while your limbs move, which is exactly what happens in daily life. Think about when you walk, carry something, or even get out of bed. Your spine needs to stay stable while your arms and legs move. If this musculature isn't strong enough, other parts of the body compensate, which can lead to pain and postural problems. And the best part, this exercise is completely safe for the lower back and can be done by anyone, regardless of age or fitness level. Now, let's get to practice. Lie on your back on a mat or a comfortable surface. Lift your arms toward the ceiling and bend your knees at 90 degrees, keeping your feet off the ground. Now, engage your core and press your lower back against the floor. This detail is essential to prevent lower back strain. From this position, inhale, and as you exhale, slowly lower one arm and the opposite leg toward the floor without letting your lower back lift off the ground. Return to the starting position and repeat on the other side. At first, it may seem simple, but trust me, as you keep practicing, you'll realize how much control this exercise requires. Perform 8 to 12 reps per side, always maintaining proper form. If it feels difficult at first, reduce the range of motion until you gain more control. Over time, this exercise will strengthen your core, stabilize your spine, and even improve your posture while walking. Now that we've worked on the core, let's strengthen the legs and protect the knees with a must-do exercise. Number 4, reverse lunge. If there's one exercise that should be in everyone's routine to maintain leg strength and protect the joints, it's the reverse lunge. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but what about squats? Aren't they enough? The thing is, the lunge has a huge advantage over the traditional squat, especially for those who experience knee pain. Unlike squats, where both knees bend at the same time, in a reverse lunge, you work one leg at a time, which improves stability and reduces impact on the joints. Plus, stepping backward helps distribute your body weight more evenly, preventing excessive strain on the front knee. Now, how do you perform the reverse lunge correctly? First, stand with your feet hip-width apart. Step one foot back, lowering your body until your back knee is close to the ground, but not touching. The front knee should remain aligned with the ankle, not going past your toes. Now, press through your front foot to return to the starting position. Repeat on the other side and keep alternating. If maintaining balance is difficult at first, you can hold onto a wall or chair for support. Over time, as your strength and stability improve, try doing it without support. Perform 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per leg and notice how your legs become stronger and your knees more protected. Now that we've strengthened the legs, let's move on to an exercise that can unlock your spine and drastically improve your flexibility. Number 3, thoracic rotation. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you turned your torso without feeling some kind of stiffness or discomfort? You know that moment when you need to look behind while driving, grab something from the back seat, or even just stretch and feel tightness. That doesn't happen by chance. If these movements are becoming more difficult or uncomfortable, the problem isn't your age. It's a lack of thoracic mobility. And before you think, oh, but it's normal to lose mobility over time, let me tell you something. No, it's not normal. Your body was made to move, rotate, bend, and stretch without pain. But what happens? We spend years moving less than we should. We sit too much, hunch forward for long periods, whether looking at our phones, watching TV, or reading. The result? The thoracic spine, which should be flexible and mobile, gets locked up. And when this part of the torso doesn't move properly, the rest of the body suffers. A lot of people with lower back pain, shoulder discomfort, or even difficulty difficulty taking deep breaths never consider that the real issue might be in the middle of their back. But the truth is, that's exactly where the problem starts. The good news, you can regain mobility and restore freedom to your body with a simple yet effective exercise: thoracic rotation. Sit on the floor or kneel in a comfortable position. Now, place one hand behind your head, keeping your elbow pointed outward. Slowly inhale and begin to rotate your torso upward, aiming your elbow toward the ceiling. Hold for a second and feel your upper back move. Now, exhale slowly and bring your elbow inward, trying to touch the opposite elbow or your chest. Perform this movement in a controlled way. Don't force it. You should feel a slight stretch, and over time, you'll notice your rotation improving naturally. Perform 8 to 12 reps per side, always with slow, controlled movements. If this exercise feels too challenging, start sitting against a wall for extra stability. If you want more of a challenge, try doing it on all fours. And if you already have good mobility and want to make it even harder, hold a light weight or a stick while rotating to add resistance and strengthen your stabilizing muscles. Most people who start practicing thoracic rotation notice improved posture, reduced pain, and even better breathing within a few weeks. Now, a challenge for you. Do this exercise every day for a month, just 2 to 3 minutes a day. Then tell me, did you notice a difference in your posture? Did your back pain decrease? Did your movements become more fluid? I'm sure they did. And the best part? This is just the beginning of a more mobile, pain-free body, ready to handle daily challenges with ease. Number 2, bodyweight deadlift. If there's one exercise that should be in everyone's routine to keep the body strong and functional, it's the deadlift. But before you turn up your nose, thinking this involves lifting massive weights like those bodybuilders at the gym, let me tell you something. The deadlift can be done using just your own body weight and still bring incredible benefits to your back, legs, and hips. Now, why is this exercise so important? Because it teaches your body to move correctly. The truth is, in our daily lives, we perform movements similar to the deadlift all the time. Think about it. How often do you bend down to pick something up from the floor, or need to lift something heavy like a shopping bag or a full bucket? If you don't do this movement correctly, you end up putting all the strain on your lower back, which is how pain and injuries begin. The deadlift strengthens the lower back, glutes, and legs, while also teaching the body to distribute the load better, protecting your spine from overload. Now, let's get practical. Stand with your feet hip width apart. Imagine there's an invisible chair behind you. Instead of just bending your knees like in a squat, push your hips back, keeping your spine straight and your chest slightly lifted. You should feel a stretch in the back of your legs and your glutes engaging. Then return to the starting position by pushing the ground with your feet and contracting the muscles in the back of your body. If it's difficult at first, try doing the movement in front of a mirror to ensure your back isn't rounding. Over time, you can add a light dumbbell or a water bottle to increase the challenge. Do 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps and notice how, over time, your posture improves and your lower back becomes more protected. Now we've reached the most important exercise of all, the one that can literally transform your mobility and restore freedom to your body. Number 1, relax deep squat. If there's one movement that should be as natural as breathing, but that many people have lost over time, it's the relax deep squat. And before you think, oh, but I can't squat without feeling pain or losing balance, let me tell you a secret. This ability hasn't disappeared. It's just dormant. Now, why is this exercise so important? Because it restores your body's natural mobility in the hips, ankles, and spine. Have you ever noticed how young children play on the floor? They squat down completely, stay in that position for several minutes, and stand up effortlessly. But as we age and spend more time sitting, our muscles and joints lose this ability. The result? Knee pain, lower back discomfort, and even difficulty performing simple tasks like bending down to tie your shoes or pick something up. The deep squat helps reverse this process by restoring joint flexibility and strengthening the muscles in your legs and core. And the best part, it also improves digestion and relieves lower back pressure by helping internal organs position themselves correctly. Now, how do you perform this exercise safely? Simple. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and your toes slightly pointing outward. Now start lowering yourself slowly by bending your knees and pushing your hips back as if you were sitting on an invisible bench. The goal is to get your hips below knee level, but only go as far as your body allows without discomfort. At first, your ankles or knees may feel stiff, but with practice, this mobility will improve naturally. If maintaining balance is difficult at first, hold onto a chair or support yourself against a wall. Over Over time, try staying in the relaxed squat position for 30 seconds to 1 minute, breathing deeply and allowing your body to adjust. If you can do this daily, you'll notice a huge difference in your posture, balance, and even the way you walk. Now, you might be wondering, how long does it take to see the benefits? The answer is simple. The more you practice, the faster you'll see results. You can start by squatting for a few seconds when you wake up, before bed, or even during breaks throughout the day. The key is consistency. Now that you know the 8 essential exercises to restore your mobility and eliminate pain, I want to challenge you. Choose at least 3 of these exercises to start today. You don't have to do everything at once. Begin with what feels easiest for you and gradually increase over time. Small steps lead to big changes. And tell me, which of these exercises do you already do? Which one do you plan to start today? I'd love to hear about your experience.